Are you ready to learn? Because my super experienced guests are ready to share some really valuable information. Make sure and listen all the way to the end to get help and support. So let's start with the best audio experience.
Hello guys, today we discuss about a very important topic, how you can get more revenue, from your store visitors. And I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Zee Aganovic. How are you?
Very good.
For me, it's a big pleasure.
How are
Yeah.
you, Anatoly?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Wednesday on this day. I always have positive mindset, and it doesn't matter what kind of day we have, Monday, Friday. It's better to enjoy the process. So yeah, I'm doing great. Zee, before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, and why you decided to share with us about this important topic.
Yeah, so I happen to be serial entrepreneur, meaning I started more than few software startups. My wife would call that slow learner. You need to repeat many times over. I have a team of people who works with me, and they inspire me. Over years, we innovated quite a few unique types of technologies. Last two startups were acquired by Ricoh and Microsoft. So that means that the technology we develop is kind of built to last. E-commerce side, it was evolution. One business leads you to another one. You learn one domain and then you explore the adjacent domain. We see e-commerce as a place where a lot of different technologies can bring value. And also the place where there's a huge divide in between retailers, people who are focusing all their energy to retail the product, and then the need to now support that with a lot of intelligence and data and capability to do it in an automated way. So that's what led us to focus on e-commerce, and we see a lot of disruptive changes happening as we speak that are forcing retailers to rethink their strategy. So if you take a look at a 20-year trend of retail business growth, you will see two blips. One was financial crisis, 10, 12 years ago. And then the other one was COVID. But if you put the straight line in between, you will see that year over year growth in e-commerce business is slowing down. And last year, with many of the clients we saw disappointing results, meaning their bosses expected much bigger growth than they achieved. And some companies actually didn't grow at all. So that's the long-winded introduction into what we do and how we think.
Nice, awesome. Okay, you mentioned that you are a serial entrepreneur, but you mentioned another word, focus. Can you tell how to focus your attention when you have a few directions? Because for example, from my experience, it's hard. I have two companies, and in these two companies I have many different projects, and sometimes I can lose attention to the most important things because of I don't know, it's like I can call jack of all trades, but I'm trying to delegate or neglect some less important tasks. So can you tell from your experience how to focus your attention in a few directions? Because you mentioned you're serial entrepreneur. Any insights about that?
Yeah, if you're asking about how do we create focus within our company so that we execute, so that everybody is rowing in the same direction. There's no silver bullet. On one side, you need to be open-minded and continually learn and adapt to marketplace. But then the risk is that you start flip-flopping from left to right to up and down, etc. And the way we approach it, we have a longer-term vision. So we are aligning ourselves all the time to that North Star. And then on day-to-day basis, you need to navigate. Sometimes in the middle of your mission, you find out that the architecture or technology you wanted to deploy no longer looks like as promising as it looked before. So you need to correct that course. But next thing is continually communicate to people. Like everybody needs to be on the same page. Like what was yesterday, what we do today, and what's the next thing. So again, it really is art more than science, how you keep that focus.
Okay, I open your LinkedIn profile. I can see, I like this quote, revenue growth automation for Shopify. Can you tell why Shopify? Why we have many different other CMS, good CMS, WordPress, Wix, I don't know. Why Shopify?
Multiple reasons. It is, as you know, the largest e-commerce platform in the world and the fastest growing e-commerce platform in the world. Designed in a way that aligns with the ability to develop applications for that platform with all the openness, structure, and also with the strategy of Shopify to attract technology partners to develop value-add applications to Shopify. So when you combine market opportunity with the platform and Shopify strategy, those intersections motivated us to invest money and develop application for Shopify.
Okay, I love automation. For me, it's important to use automation because when you do everything manually, you can lose to your competitors. But I found that automation, when you provide automation, you can get not accurate results. So can you tell how to find the balance between automation and manual checking? Because I see when, as you mentioned, that we have now silver bullet, and many people are asking, please help me to find this golden button. I have no this golden button. I don't know how to find the golden button, but I usually use automation and manual job. So any insights how to find the balance between automation and manual job?
Yeah, so you have a psychology, you have a data, you have the mechanics of the process. So the challenge and opportunity is to create the application that aligns with people's understanding and psychology. So to give you an anecdote, we are using AI to help shoppers find the products effectively on the site. And you would think if you provide the best performing results that merchants would like it and use it. And their first objection was, no, I want to do it my way. So we had to kind of shift back and give them ability to override everything that's being done automatically so that they can control every day exactly what they want to do, because they have a brand vision. They want to create the whatever styles and looks and things that they believe perform better, irrespective of data that we provide. Like we measure everything, and data tells you how well every component is working. And even when you present them with results that the machine is doing better than you guys, they still want to do it their way. And we need to respect that, because there is invisible brand value, the style, the position in the marketplace. So we need to make technology to be supporting act, not something that overrides people on the other side.
Okay, let's talk about how to find that something is wrong, or how we can improve the process. For example, now I have some clients. They can tell everything is fine. I can sell, I can get results, but after fixing something, we can double sales or even increase a little bit, but that's okay. For some projects, even if you increase 5-10%, you can get a lot more revenue. Can you tell how to find the ways what we can improve or update in existing products if something works well?
Well, that's a $64,000 question.
Yeah.
No, let me step back and first describe the nature of the problem. Like, what is it that typical merchant online brand is facing today? So we see like tectonic plates moving. One is shift to mobile shopping. In the past, it was people find something on a mobile, go home and use desktop to shop. Now, most of the shoppers are using mobile devices. The mistake that merchants are making is thinking that mobile shopping is about smaller device. So you create responsive design to cram something you're showing on a big screen to the small screen. Actually, it is different shopper, it's different behavior, it's different psychology, and you need to treat it differently. So just like repackaging content will not solve that issue. The next one is social media, and merchants are excited about new source of traffic, and why wouldn't be? Because Google just became single source supplier, and as you know, the cost of paid search is just like escalating, and then Google turned the lights off, so you no longer know the keywords people use to search and how did they find you. So it's like really hard to do business with Google and be profitable. Like, we see so many clients, we calculate what's the revenue per visit you're getting from the ads. There's no way you can make money, and people are still burning a ton of money to keep the revenue level there. So social media is very exciting, and people think it's source of traffic. For us, social media changed the way how people behave online, because the AI and the way social applications work made it so easy for people to engage and use it. Now, the same billions of people who are using social app, they come to your site, and now they need to work hard. They need to search, they need to navigate, they need to sort, they need to filter to spend their money with you. So it is like, how do you extend that easy, intelligent, smooth experience into the e-commerce? That's the next frontier. Then what else you have? You have a headless e-commerce, which is confusing people. You need to have more content, whatever, which is not an easy to implement, as you probably well know. And then you have AI that is like now shaking everything. So a lot of these forces. So what's the answer? Retailers busy with the day job, they don't have time to even learn what's changing and what else they need. So that's mission for us. How can we bring solutions that will fill that gap and start producing more revenues from the e-commerce sites?
Yeah, interesting. Can you list common mistakes that Shopify store owners have, and how to find a better way to fix them?
Yeah, so I think at the highest level is allocation of resources. So still, demand generation dominates, meaning all the attention is how do we bring more visitors to the site. So I think the starting point should be, how can we better monetize traffic that we are already getting? Because there is so much of new revenue opportunity if you are able to monetize that traffic. Like we often compare performance on mobile device and performance on the desktop. And typically, mobile revenue per visit is like order of magnitude or 1/2 or, of desktop revenue per visit. So this is the same offering you have. Imagine if you can just close that revenue gap how much in new revenues you can generate.
Yeah, interesting. I agree. Okay. I check out a study that shows acquiring new customers cost 5 times more than retaining existing ones. And you mentioned about that businesses waste a lot of money in marketing, but sometimes we can increase sales with existing traffic. And can you tell how to do it? For example, if we are talking about e-commerce pages, landing pages, what kind of changes it's better to provide to these landing pages? For example, once I got a client, I check out his page, and I found he, he sells almost all products in one page. But if I open apple.com, I can see only iPhone. I don't see MacBook, I don't see AirPod, I don't see Apple Watch, anything, just Apple, iPhone, because iPhone is responsible for plus 40% of all sales for Apple. And I see when e-commerce websites are trying to sell almost all their products, but customers hate it. I think simplicity works well. So, from your experience, how to simplify content on e-commerce pages to increase sales?
Yeah. So we see two layers of that story. One layer is that generic shopping experience, and you are mentioning the aspect of pages being overwhelming, too cluttered, too much content. Yeah. So to optimize that side, often running bunch of A/B tests, or in our case, we can run multivariate tests to determine what you really need on that page. It's like to declutter. We often say that less is more. Less of stuff, call to actions, content pieces, information is producing better results than intuitively people think. If I show everything, probability is high that somebody will like something and do something. So that's one aspect. You need to create that effective, pleasant stage, that pleasant experience in general. That appearance can just turn some people off and they don't want to consider anything. The second layer is this notion of product market fit, which is in e-commerce product visitor fit. You're getting visitor to your site. How do you connect the right product with the right audience at the right time? So you need to have both sides. You need to have a product visitor fit, which is typically some kind of product discovery capability, personalization, product recommendations that navigate a visitor to the right product, which then leads to financial outcome.
Yeah, I think user experience is important. It's better to analyze what kind of behavior we have on website, on Google Analytics, or similar tools. And let's talk about how to learn customers about personalization. Because, for example, if I need to take away some content and pay attention to more important content for my customers, I need to know what kind of information they need. So any insights how to find it?
Yeah, so this term personalization is probably a very confusing term for merchants. And often they think we can only personalize to people we know. And then they look at the percentage of returning visitors or returning shoppers, returning customers to their site, which is typically a very small number, like 3 to 5% of all traffic is returning customer. So their thinking is, this is so small. Like, why would I bother to personalize when I have only audience of, single-digit visitors that I can personalize for? So I think instead of personalize, it should be persona. So if you start thinking who is buying persona, then you decouple, do you know that person that belongs to that persona or not? And personalization then becomes more on what that persona is doing on your site. How is he behaving so that the personalization solution can in real time adapt to that visitor and its behavior and create that most effective product discovery and most effective shopping experience.
And any practical tips how to learn our buying persona or create buying persona? Because interesting, like 12 years ago, I set up all Google Ads campaigns myself without creating a buying persona. I used Facebook ads, but at that time I paid for click 5-10 cents. Now today I need to pay $10, to get these clicks.
Yes.
It's overpriced today, and we can't invest $1 to get $2 back, because it's better to. And in marketing, we have this quote: "If you sell to anyone, you sell to no one." So, any insights how to create this buying persona? I mean, like practical tips what to do.
Yes. So the challenge in e-commerce is probably 90% of visitors who are coming to your site are first-time visitors. And you know basically nothing or very little about those people coming. And since most of them just never buy, then you have a limited data set on how to deal with these things. So if your attempt is to manually create some kind of segmentation and audience and whatever, you have a black box. There's nothing you can do about 90% of all visitors, even more. So the new approach, and this is what we follow, is to combine live visitor behavior with the artificial intelligence that would then detect what kind of shopper you are in automated way. Now, the question is what data? Every click on the site, every page view, every product view is some kind of buying signal. So if you are able to take, which is purely metadata, anonymous, so no personal data, it doesn't depend, even if we know you as a shopper, that's very secondary. That's the past. That's the rear view mirror. What matters is what shopper is doing on the site right now. What moves, what clicks, what pages he's viewing. So based on that data, the algorithms are able to determine the preferences and things that they are predicting after each click you should do next. So that's the like when you marry the advanced technology with the e-commerce data. So automation is, you don't need to know that. You don't need to do any work. You don't need to be a data scientist or guru or psychologist or whatever you need to create, formulate the segmentation and persona. Instead, the data speaks, the data guides, and the algorithms are detecting, using that as input, and in real time navigating and providing the best experiences for shoppers.
Awesome. And can you tell how you use AI? I mean, like we have Google Analytics data, how our customers behave on websites. So you unite AI with Google Analytics data, or any other insights about that?
Yeah. So if we are talking about how everything comes together, so number one, we cannot take credit for what we do 100% ourselves. So we partner actually with Amazon. We stumble into partnership with their machine learning team, the people who develop algorithms used on Amazon Marketplace. And this product for Shopify is collaboration with Amazon to take the same capabilities that Amazon is using itself and make it available for masses of people. The unique aspect of their machine learning, and the reason that we partner with them, is this ability to use visitor actions as the input into the algorithm. So they spent over 20 years developing that technology. Now, algorithm itself cannot function. So to provide the right data, right input, we have our own data platform. It's not something to replicate Google. It's something that we needed to use in real time. You cannot use Google data in real time. You can read it after the fact. At the end of the day, when they summarize data, you can read it. But we need it right then and there, and somebody clicks, that we have access to that click and that we have access to all parameters. Like same as Google, you need sources, devices, the geolocation, the places. All of this is like context. It's irrelevant. That goes into the algorithm that then follows the shopper and makes the best possible outcomes out of every action that shopper is taking.
Nice. Okay, Zee, I'm interested about new products, new project, new website that have no customers, that have no data. How to then to create this buying persona and set up automation process.
Yeah. So you have a wide spectrum of things that people can do to improve outcomes on their site. So when we are talking about this high level personalization, that comes into the play when you have a little bit more of business. I would say more than $1 million in revenues, more than 50 products that you are selling when it comes to just the product recommendation side. But even if you are smaller merchant, you want to upsell, you want to cross-sell, you want to discount, all of these things can have more intelligence. They can be done in more effective way. So like we often see people just blindly giving 20% discount on every product. Do you need to discount every product? Some products are selling well. So why would you cannibalize your own margin? Or you have a high inventory items that you need to get rid of. So you can basically automate that process where you are discounting only products that need to be discounted, based on demand and also based on the inventory status. But again, for full disclosure, the highest value of what we do is to merchants who are larger. Like once you start doing more business, then as you mentioned in the beginning, the small percentage improvement translates to a lot of money that goes directly to your bottom line. Like you already have a sunk cost of doing business. So if you have a 10% increase in something, it's going to your profit.
Yeah, agree. I think priorities are important. I remember Bill Gates once replied to the question about his methods of selling something. And he told, for example, if he has product A and product B, after investing X amount of money to product A and product B, if product B sells 2 times more, the second time he will invest 2x money to product B, ignoring product A, because he can get a lot more revenue. But I see when companies keep advertising all products, when you have best-selling products, you can sell faster them. So yeah, I agree. I like it. Okay, Zee, I have the question about your methods, how to tell your customers about doing something. For example, I check out some information online when consultants or companies that provide services, usually, many companies are busy with many other tasks to develop, innovate products, to retain customers. But when you tell them what to do, in experience, 40% of all recommendations are implemented and 60% are ignored. So can you tell your methods how to transfer data to your customers and highlight that it's important, to increase sales? Any tips about that?
Yeah. So this is where this technology divide, is so critical for e-commerce companies. If you are talking technology talk to retailers, then they don't hear you. They don't translate what potentially is obvious to me and you to something that's, directly applicable to their store, to the pain point that they have, etc. So what we decided to do to fill that divide, to kind of bring high-end capabilities to average business person, not technology guy, to business person, we repackaged the big thing in a lot of small components. We call them growth bots. And we design each growth bot to address a specific pain point that you might have on your site. So we have like gallery of these growth bots. And if, some people see it as I need to better merchandise. So then we have a group of growth bots that enable you to better merchandise. And because it's library and it is in our demo store, you can just go and check what items you have in library. And then these items are, documented from business person point of view. Like, why would you need this component? How it works? And then how would you use it? And the best of all, we productize it as like micro apps, so that most of the time you don't need to do anything other than press the play button and let that bot do its own thing. So what that could be: product recommendation, could be upsell, could be cross-sell, could be add-on products, could be premium, follow-up recommendations to what people have done. So the list goes on and on. More you do, more options you suddenly see that you can automate. Basically, any type of activity on your site could be enriched by these types of smart experiences.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, simplicity works well. People love simplicity. Okay, Zee, I have just two final questions. The first question for my students. I have some students in my network, and many of them are looking for ways how to learn something new, how to grow. And let's imagine you started from scratch without any experience, knowledge, skills. What will you do today to learn more about Shopify automation?
Meaning revenue growth automation.
Yeah, okay.
So I think that the best thing is to get involved and apply some of the growth bots to see them working. So you can apply them on your demo store just to see physically how things come together. But then as you are applying that, it is to connect with customers, to see specifically on their site. So if you are, let's say, agency and service provider, we have a rich data analytics that enables you to see now where in typical e-commerce site you have a kinks in the experience, kinks in a flow, in a sales funnel, in a user buying experience that prevents those companies to accomplish more. And that data becomes a like data pointer to select growth bots that can be applied to that area, so that you can enhance and improve that section of the experience. Now, level deeper is to better understand data. Yeah, and you can learn more from Google Analytics. You can learn from our own analytics and metrics. And then next level will be to learn more about AI types of algorithms and capabilities that they provide. So at each level, you're kind of building fitness. You're building professional skills that would be necessary to serve more demanding clients, bigger clients. We see this as a next frontier for e-commerce companies. And after the period of building the infrastructure, like Shopify really consolidated the infrastructure business. So instead of building custom sites and spending a ton of money to host and manage them, you just pay a small fee and you have the best possible e-commerce in a business. Then next level was like designing a best practices site. I think we graduated that phase. And I think the next phase after that is how do you monetize all those investments in the infrastructure and design of your site so that you can build brand value and revenue growth.
Yeah, awesome. And the final question. Can you predict the future in Shopify automation? Because many things are coming, I don't know, metaverse, augmented reality. What kind of future will be on Shopify or any other e-commerce platforms from your prediction?
I think that number one, artificial intelligence will make a dent, will change tremendously how people interact and shop on e-commerce site. To me, the gap between e-commerce experience and social application experience will narrow. Right now, those are two different universes. So if I would make one big prediction, it will be that in not so distant future, your e-commerce site will feel like your, Facebook or whatever favorite social application you have, where basically shopper visitor has to do very little, and the machine behind the scene is like just creating next reason to see more, to do more, to buy more on those sites. Versus today, where on the e-commerce, it is the shopper who needs to navigate. It is the shopper who needs to run the search, to filter, to narrow down, work hard basically to spend the money. That thing would change.
Nice. Guys, you need to learn more about AI today, because in the future, it's a must-have. It's a must-have today, even, for many projects. But in the future, yeah, it's very important. Zee, it's a big pleasure to get on my show, to learn from you. Tell our audience the best way how to reach out to you, how to learn more about you, how to follow you.
Yes, so obviously our company is Obvio, which is short for obvious. And you can find us on Shopify as Obvio recommend application that would enable Shopify merchants to try it and see if that works for them.
Okay, guys, you can find the link to the website in the description below. You can find LinkedIn account to Zee in the description. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. Big pleasure. Love all your valuable insights. Guys, thanks a lot for listening and watching us.
Thank you, Anatoly.